welcome back to RJK English. Today we're going to have a conversation about marriage. How do we talk about marriage? Well, in order to talk about it, we have to think about what marriage means. And it means something different in different places. What do I mean by it means something different? Well, it's done in different ways. It's done for different reasons. So let's talk about it, okay? Let's start with parents. Why do parents want their child to get married? Well, I'm not going to tell you what's right. I'm not even going to tell you marriage is right. But in general, in your country, or among your culture, or among your people, why do parents want their child to get married? I was asking one of my Chinese students. He said parents just want their child to be happy. Let's look at some things that the parents might want. They might want, he's a son, so they want the son's happiness. But maybe also they want grandchildren. For him, he said maybe one or two. First, they want the happiness of the son. And they believe marriage is the way to be the most happy. I asked, is it about retirement security? Do the parents want the son or daughter to get married so that they're more secure in retirement? He said no, because in China, and you would have to tell me if this is true, he said it's a requirement to take care of your parents anyway, so it doesn't matter whether they're married or not. Parents usually seem to want their children to get married. Maybe they think it will make them more secure. Maybe they think their child will be more happy if they have someone that loves them that's not going to go away, right? So why do people want to get married? Why do you want to be married, or if you do? Well, we could talk about that people want companionship. They want people to be there with them while they live their life. I enjoy being married. I'm married. I like being with my wife. And it's secure. We're not always happy at all moments, but I like her and I like what we're doing. As you go through a marriage, your needs change. At first, it's just about loving the other person, right? We love being around each other. We're so happy. We're so in love, la, 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 la. As it changed over time, now it's more about where are we going in the future? Oh, my person that I'm with is part of that. Now I'm happy because we're both going in the same direction. Okay? Other people might have other reasons. This is where we have to think about culture. How do you get married? Okay? What is needed first? My student from China said the man needs to have a job and he needs to own a house. So a house or a flat or something, right? So in order to get married, he has to have this. I thought about other places. In the US, we're a little bit more free about this, but in general, if the family has something to say, the person has to have a job, usually, a way of making income. Others have other things. Maybe you need to be part of that particular culture or caste in order to get married. But that doesn't totally make sense, because you would be part of that. You would be finding people within that caste or culture, religion. But what about where you are? What's needed? Make sure to comment below, okay? How do you choose a spouse? Do you have love marriage? Do you have arranged marriage? In the US, it's basically 95 to 98% love marriages. So I find someone and I marry them because of my choice. But let's pick India, there's more arranged marriages, right? The family is choosing the bride or the prospective bride or the groom, and their child is choosing yes or no. Sometimes the parents will just say this is who you're marrying, but overall, what I understand of arranged marriages, it's presented to the person, so here's this boy, do you like him? No, I don't like him. Okay, we'll pick someone else, or vice versa. Usually it's a mixture, but the two philosophies here, in the one, love marriage is usually about, especially in the United States, I am marrying that person. Our families will then be associated, but in general, it's more about me and the other person I'm marrying. In arranged marriage, at least that culture, the families are marrying each other. You now have in-laws. You now have a son-in-law. We have a way of coming together. In China, in Korea, apparently the girl becomes part of the other family that she marries into. I think in India, a lot of times that's the way it is as well. In the US, it kind of is that way a little. It's kind of hard sometimes to look at your own culture. But there can be benefits to both. So in love marriage, I'm making my choice, right? But in some ways, we don't know ourselves very well. We don't know ourselves very well, especially when we're young. If we have a loving family, a lot of times they know us better They know what type of person we need to look for. They know what will make us happy. They raised us. Okay, so there's a lot of benefits to arranged marriage. Plus, with family marrying family, or just communal culture in general, you're not so alone when you get married. In the US in general, you're very alone. You marry that person and now it's up to you two to make it. We're not going to get involved too much as parents, when you guys get married. Whereas in other cultures, a lot of times the family is helping. They'll be there when you have a kid. You're not so alone, you're not so scared. In some ways, I admire that. There can also be problems. I know other people that this has happened as well, where, maybe the woman goes to the family and that family abuses them, So there are always bad things. And in joint families, there's sometimes some very bad things that can happen. So neither is perfect, but there are benefits in both. What does it cost? Sometimes there's direct dowry. We say dowry, where the groom has to pay the bride's family. In some, the bride's family has to pay the groom's family. But then there's just cost. Who pays for the wedding? Weddings are very costly, so this is something that you have to think about. Who pays for it? Why do you think these things cost so much? I think in a way it's because you're saying in front of everybody we're getting married. It kind of helps to cement the idea that you really are married. You're a unit. And there's a social cost when you break up. It's a little bit less in the West because we're a little bit more divided. If I get divorced, it affects fewer people. So we have to think about the differences across countries. And it's very interesting to think about this. You tell me what you think. Is there anything I missed in this? Is there anything that you've thought of? You might want to talk about, why do you really get married? What are your dreams? What do you imagine life will be like? What is this perfect life? And for some of you, maybe you don't want to get married. I know, especially for women, a lot of times they're kind of pushed by their families, you have to get married. And they have goals and dreams. Maybe you don't want to get married. This is something you can think about. Think about what you want in life, though. What is your goal? And then maybe marriage fits into it, maybe it doesn't. See you guys later. Hi everyone, welcome to RJK English. Make sure to like and subscribe, and that will help me make more of these videos. I'm on YouTube and on Instagram, and see us on Facebook, and we can talk further.